Hi, this is Dodger and you're watching my show. So my mailbox has been blowing up with messages from you guys saying, I can't believe that you're playing Street Fighter Cross Tekken with all the DLC stuff going on. Don't you have any integrity as a gamer? Here's the thing, and I can explain my feelings on all of this very succinctly. It'll take so little time. I have never in my life bought DLC. That is my stand. I've been taking a stand against DLC for so long, which is one of the reasons why I feel like CD Projekt has really just stepped up their game and being like, hey, we made this enhanced edition, all new cinematics, so much extra gameplay. By the way, if you already bought the PC version, it's free. Like, what? I've been like a walking advertisement for them. So let's jump into that news. John Blow, the maker of Braid, which Braid is a very widely known game for being very beautiful and very emotional. It's a puzzle game. He is making another game called The Witness, and nobody has any idea when it's going to be finished, which sounds a lot like pretty much everything that Blizzard has ever made. During GDC, he was being asked about it, and he was like, it'll be done when it's good. It'll be done when it's good. We also have no idea what platforms it's going to be on. PC and iOS are the only ones that are for sure. Anything having to do with XBLA or PSN, don't know. He doesn't know. Nobody knows. But what we do know is he's spending all of the money he made off of Braid on this game, which is a lot of money. And they made like, what, like $250,000 on Braid? And they're just spending all of it. All of it is going into The Witness. I'm like, man, I hope The Witness does as well as Braid, because dang. It would really suck to make a game and have it be so successful and then have this new grand idea for a really expansive puzzle game again and then have it not do very well. I would just be so sad. Either way, point of bringing it up is that it'll be done when it's done, a la Blizzard. Speaking of Blizzard, and we talked about this on the podcast, anybody who watched the podcast, you will already know about this because we discussed it. Well, more TB and Jesse discussed it because they are more knowledgeable about it, and I just kind of hung back and listened a lot. But, so Diablo 3 is going to be released without PvP, which means that even though Blizzard is very, very well known for taking as long as they need to make sure a game is perfect and ready to go before they ship it out, they're just gonna launch Diablo 3 without PvP, add that in later. I know a couple of people that I just talked with today who said, oh, well then I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it until there's PvP. I feel like Blizzard is so well known for that specifically, for being like, all right guys, I know it's taken forever, I know it's taken years, so many years for us to get this game out, but it's gonna be great. Everything that you're expecting is gonna be in it. We're not adding in anything after the fact. Nope. The question of compromising your own integrity. Suddenly, people are going to say, oh, well, what else is going to be left off? Is anything else not going to be quite up to par? So when will PvP be added? We don't know. We know it's going to be in a patch, so it'll just automatically suddenly be in there, which is great. But when? When? Let's step back a little bit. Let's try to address the positives. This isn't a part of the game that is totally necessary. It's something that they can very easily not have in there right off the bat and then add in. And it'll make it so that they don't have to delay the game again, which is also very good. It's going to be involved in a patch. It's not something that you have to buy. There's no DLC scandal. I think that it's just something that a lot of people were looking forward to. It was announced in 2010 at BlizzCon. Like, people have been expecting this for a while now. And they're still going to get it. They're not taking it out of the game entirely, but they're just not going to be able to get it right off the bat, which means you don't have to buy it right off the bat. You can treat it as though it's being released later than you were expecting, which is what would have been the case if they did include PvP. So, you know what? As a final bit of news, do you guys remember when Mojang and Bethesda were having this big ol' law scandal over Mojang calling their next game Scrolls? So the two companies finally settled, and Mojang will get to keep the name. The name of their next game is going to be Scrolls. Officially, they don't have to change it. Everybody, hopefully, is happy. Apparently, they're only allowed to use it for one game, though. So there will never be a Scrolls 2. They can never use Scrolls for more than one game. So if they ever want to add on to the game, they can't make a sequel, but they can just keep patching in new stuff, or however they wind up intending to do that. I still think it's so funny that this became such a big thing. Like, it became like a thing. Like, I expected it to not take this long at all. I had forgotten about it. I figured it was all figured out and settled and whatever. No, no, no. Like, they just finally decided Mojang could use the name. It's just funny to me. Anywho, that is my show. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a positive or a negative response, feel free to leave it in my comment section. And if you want to have coffee with me, you can click wherever I put the annotation and it'll take you to my other channel. But otherwise, I hope that you guys are having a great beginning to your week, and I will talk to you guys again on Wednesday. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah!